Hello Year 1 and welcome to your maths learning for today. It is Tuesday the 9th of February 2021. So retrieval is just recapping some previous learned knowledge. So can you use a counting stick to count forwards and backwards to 20? Okay, and start with random numbers. So that's your retrieval and a bit of a warm up for you. Then can you go onto your calendar, so days of the week and your months of the year, pause as you need to do this, complete this. And then what we are learning. So we are learning to subtract a 1-digit number from a 2-digit number. So how can we be successful? So taking those steps to succeed, as we've got that image there, we need to think about subtraction. So what subtraction means. So hopefully you know that when we subtract, it means the same as minus, take away, and it just means that our number gets smaller, okay? And when we're using a number line, that we count backwards, our numbers get smaller. Okay, then we need to think about what a 1-digit number and a 2-digit number will mean. So a 1-digit number is just one number, one numeral, 1 digit. So that's your numbers 0 to 9. And then a 2-digit number is when there is two numbers, 2 digits. So that's 10, because it's got 10 and a 0, 1 0, and 1 and a 0, 10 and a 0. Okay, so it's that place value. And it's from 10 to 99. And then after that, obviously, then it goes into a 3-digit number. Okay. So, what do you remember about subtracting? Discuss with someone, write it down however you'd like. What ways can we subtract? What methods can we use? And what manipulatives can we use? So there's some questions to think about and to answer or discuss with somebody. So what can you use to help you? As always, I attach some images just to support you with your sharing, your speaking, and I'm talking about those methods and the things that we use, those manipulatives. As always, again, use what you can and what you have access to at home to support you. So if you have no manipulatives to support you, is there something else you could use to help you, or another way you could work subtraction or work that out? Okay. So these are the ideas. Jottings, number lines, blank number lines, tens frames, all of those are absolutely brilliant ways to use. It's just choosing the most efficient, the best way to work something out and the quickest way. So here we've got an example, 14 take away 3, and the two methods we're going to be looking at are the use of jottings, 15s, but also the use of a number line. So they're the two ways we're going to look at. So for 14 take away 3, you can either use your jottings or your number lines. We're going to look at jottings first. So I'm going to get my pen, and again, bear with me because it's a bit tricky on here. So for my 10, instead of doing 10 individual squares, what I can do is here, as you can see, this represents 10. So you can just draw a rectangle to represent your 10. Okay, so there's my 10. And then I need to, again, looking at place value, my 4. So my 4 objects, 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to keep them in some order just to make it easier to count. Now, I'm not adding 3. I need to look at the symbol. I'm subtracting. I'm taking away. That means I don't draw 3 objects. I need to take them away, which means I need to cross them out. Okay, so if I'm taking away 3, I'm going to cross 3 out. So I'm not crossing out 30, so I do not need to touch this 10. I need to look at my ones. I'm taking 3 ones away. So I've got 1, 2, 3. And like I said, what you can then do is circle what is left as always. And then write your answer in. So it's about counting on, so holding that 10 in your head and counting on 10, 11. So we're going to write that in. Okay, so that is your one way you can work that out. So we're going to move on to the next slide now and look at how else, what other methods. So you can either use a number line like this, or you can use your own blank number line, but we'll start with the number line here first. So 14 take away 3. Again, we always find that biggest number, that first number. We find 14, I'm going to make a little mark there. And then we are taking away 3. So what you need to remember is which way we need to move along that number line. Okay, so are we counting forwards or are we counting backwards? So when we're subtracting, hopefully remember that our number gets smaller and we count backwards. So from 14, we need to do 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3. And we should get to our number 11. So that's using a number line there. But you can also use a blank number line. So a blank number line, you draw your line, you put on your number 14. Now we start at this end this time because we're counting back. So we need to have space to count back. Now we're taking 3 away. So we need 3 jumps back. So we go from 14. then you can write take away 1. So we remember, which gives us 13. So we're always going that way, okay, to the left. And then we take away another 1. Okay, so that is 12. And then if we can count our jumps, we've taken 1, 2, so we need to take 1 more away. So 1 more jump, write that in, take away 1, and that is 11. And remember, always circle. Right, so you can always do an arrow like this as well, so you know which way you're jumping. And then you can write in your answer. Okay, so there are your 3 different methods that I would like you to use. Your jottings, and then your number line or blank number line. Now you can do one question in lots of different ways, or you can choose one question and do jottings, another question and use a number line, however you would like. Be careful to read the question, because as you move on, some of the numbers might change, okay? And how the number sentence is written might also change the order and how that's done as well. And remember, when you're doing a number where it is like this one, 28, think about your tens and ones. So is it just going to be 1 10, or is it going to be 2 10s? So really think about that value and that place value of that number, so you know how many 10s and how many ones. Okay, so if we're looking at the number 28 here, we would need not 1 10, hopefully you would know we'd need 2 10s and then 8 ones. Okay, so that's just a little bit of support there for you. Okay, and then you might have some number sentences that are created in this way. So the answer might be in a different place. Your missing number may be in a different place. So there's a reminder there just about the methods that you can use to support you. And then there's some different questions here with a variety of numbers. You can choose 1, 2, all of them, however you would like. Again, this is down to you, what you feel you can achieve. So then you have your fly high. So it's thinking about, can you manipulate the numbers when you subtract? So can you move the numbers around in that number sentence? Can you explain your thinking? And how else can you jump along the number line? So can you subtract more than 1 at a time? So can you jump in 2s, taking away in 2s, or can you bridge? Okay, so that's where here, can you use a number line to bridge using your number bond? So that's that partition of this number, which we spoke about before. So with this number, can we partition that, okay, to bridge? So if we start at the number 17, okay, we need to subtract 9. When we're subtracting 9 from 17, you might know what number we need to get to 10. Okay, so we might know that if we take 7, so if we take 7, that gets us to 10. Okay, so if we minus 7 from 17, that gets us to 10. Okay, so what we then need to do, so we don't, is once we've taken the 7, what is left out of 9? So if we've taken 7 already out of 9, what is left? So we split that number 9 into 2 numbers. So we've split it into a 7 and a 2. So then we do a jump of 2. So you can either do 2 jumps of 1 or a jump of 2. So if we take away 2, okay, and then our answer is 8. Okay, so can you see how I've used my number bonds to chunks? So I found what I need to get to 10. So I've taken 7 to get to 10 and then 2 more. So I've just partitioned that number into a 7 and a 2. Okay, so that's really tricky. That is a real fly high and a real challenge to challenge your thinking. So I hope that makes sense. And again, you can contact your teachers at the parent support to share that lovely work, or if you have any questions or you need some support with that. We will be continuing that through the week. So do not worry if you find that a bit tricky. Okay, we will keep practicing. Thank you for joining me for your learning. And I look forward to seeing it. All the teachers look forward to seeing your learning that you share with us. Good luck.